Let's go in and look at an actual lesson where a teacher has selected a video clip as a stimulus for a human and social sciences topic which relates to maps, and scale and direction.
Ainda bakila puno ende, aspola puno kono Philip Jackson. Oh, tata o bachala no Alexander Ziakeza. Oh, and sabes kan lapana futu puno Jerry Sikosana. Naun gobe eskalan fut lapana manja opar. Ujar ko sekali. Nain go gaitin. Atu!
Okay, are you all wide awake now for a Monday morning? Yes. Okay, great. Now, I want to know from you which your favorite soccer teams are. So I'm going to throw this ball at you, and I will give you my favorite soccer team, and as you catch it, you'll give me your favorite soccer team. Mike, Kaizer Chiefs.
Bafana Bafana.
Julian, you can write nicely. Can you come to the board, please? I wanted to have 3 performance indicators that I wanted the learners to be able to demonstrate at the end of the lesson. One was that they could see themselves in relation to other cities in South Africa and Africa, we looked at the continent in England in this instance, and other countries that they may have heard of but hadn't actually thought of where they were in relation to where they are.
Jane Roach stimulates her learners' interest in map reading by bringing a recording of a recent soccer match to school. She draws on her learners' interest in soccer by asking them where their favorite teams come from. There she asks them to find these cities and countries in their atlases, and so begins the map reading lesson.
The other one was to revise direction. We've done direction before, but to place where these were in a northerly, westerly, northwesterly direction from where the children are in South Africa. Right, now I want to look at your atlases. Will you please open your atlases to the world's political map?
Jane then asks learners to find the city where the cup final will be played and to work out the direction they would need to travel from Johannesburg to get to the game. This activity improves their ability to read maps and work out direction.
I cannot find it. Northwest.
And the third one was to look at distance. So we used this map of the scale and how long or how far would it be between South Africa and, say, Egypt if they were going to use a match. Scale can be very mundane. It can be a very practical lesson without much life to it. So to give a lesson like that some life, we brought in something that they were all connecting with.
Later, Jane introduces the element of competition by offering cup final tickets to the best pair of map readers. She asked the class to calculate the distance they would have to travel to get to the final by using the scale supplied in the atlas. A potentially tedious lesson has been transformed through the use of video, but not all schools have video recorders. Is it still possible to teach in this way?
We could definitely have brought in other media and other resources that are more easily accessible to everyone. I think because the game itself is easily accessible to everyone. Most students go out into the ball at break time and play it, so it's not something that's foreign. You haven't got to be in a well-resourced school to play soccer.
You could use articles about soccer or photographs of players to create the same excitement.
I think that more lessons should be like that, because then we'd actually learn more, because we'd remember it.
For a change, it drew our attention because it's interesting. It's about something that we enjoyed and about soccer.
So, I mean, there we were in the lesson, being actively involved. It was pretty nice, wasn't it?
And they were all totally immersed in what they were doing.
And that video clip, it really did sort of bring the kids into the lesson. It was so stimulating, much more than if you'd maybe used an atlas right at the beginning, walked in there and said, here you are, here's an atlas, here's a textbook, let's just get into an ordinary geography lesson. What she did was she brought media into the classroom the kids were familiar with, and what you saw there was a very stimulating and interesting lesson for the kids. And what we're going to do now is we're going to see how you can use a supermarket flyer, something as simple as that, to be part of an interesting media type lesson. So, let's